Cheers, you guys. Hi. Okay, so it's late. It's been a really long week, and I was just thinking about how I never do like full Q&As, but I also had a couple things I wanted to say before I did that. And before I did that, I wanted to say cheers. I just got this bottle of wine. My husband just recommended it, or my husband just picked it up for me. It's called Buckshot Cabernet Sauvignon. It's made on oak. No, I'm sorry, bourbon. Something bourbon.
Bourbon barrels. It has like a very rich Cabernet flavor, but it has like this hint of, what do you call it? Like bourbon. And I'm not a bourbon drinker. So there's not actually bourbon in this. Anyways, cheers. Okay, it's Friday night. And it's been a really long week.
So tonight we're going to no, we're not talking about Brian and we're not talking about Gabby. Tonight we're going to talk about just other stuff. I'm not here to talk about that kind of stuff. Sorry. Okay. So I was watching this video on YouTube. Okay. I don't really get involved in the drama on YouTube. I don't like to be involved in it. Okay. But I have gotten a lot of requests over the last few years to cover Eugenia Cooney. And I never, ever, ever want to cover her because I always feel like, why would you cover a woman who is anorexic and you're just literally talking about her being anorexic? And how does that help her be less anorexic? Because it doesn't. And then why does like calling for like mass flagging or getting her off the platform or whatever, how does that actually help this poor woman on YouTube? So
on my Q&A nights, I'm like, oh, well, we're just hanging out. We're just being friends. I'm just being like Eugenia. Do you know that she like streams on Twitch like 37 times a day? Yeah, she did like a 3-hour stream. She didn't take a sip of water, and her hair looked really matted down, and her lips were super chapped. She looked dehydrated. Yes. Did you know, Kayla? You were the one that told me to go check it out, and she was going like this the whole stream. Like you could tell she was super thirsty. Yeah, I ended up taking some screenshots. Let me find them. They concerned me, you guys. Here, I'll show you. I'll just go on Twitch really quick.
Oh my gosh, well you never have to send me anything, but I still appreciate that. One of the things asked about that was like being kind of toxic, but...
Alright. Let me get you the image up. Okay, that's from her birthday stream. She streamed for like several hours. That's just a photo. And she didn't drink anything, and her lips were really chapped. You can tell on the side that she's got like a... But her hair looks, I don't know if she's trying to do that with her hair, but it's very matted already. Kayla told me to check it out and said that she looks dehydrated. So I checked it out. The 3.5 hour one is the worst example. Okay, hold on. Let me get the 3.5 hour one. Yeah, no, she's still super, super skinny. Oh, here it is, 9 days ago. She doesn't look healthy, I'll tell you that much. Okay, here's the picture from the 3.5 hour one, Kayla. That's from the 3.5 hour one. The fine facial or the fine hair on the body is when you're in malnutrition, your body develops hair to keep you warm. What do you think about the hair, Jesse? Sometimes with the water, they don't drink water because they can gain water weight. Her hair did look oily. I don't know if she hadn't taken a shower or not. Looked very matted down. I have to drink water the whole stream. So her lips look very dry. I've noticed too that she's no longer like putting her hair, she's like covering her face now, whereas before she wore her hair more back. So I wonder if she's like trying to hide the part that looks gaunt. I don't know. I should make skits of the high pitched voice. I don't want to make fun of her.
Eugenia Cooney, she's a YouTuber. So when someone has an eating disorder, it's actually super discriminatory, like a lot, to discriminate against the person because of their illness. It's discriminatory to analyze their bodies. It's discriminatory to say that they are too thin, to analyze their size of their bodies, to call them pro-Anna.
I'm dumbfounded, you guys. I'm disappointed. I'm irritated. I wanted to talk about what happened in a documentary that was supposed to be a redemption, a story of recovery, a story of she's better. That's not how this works. See, Shane Dawson decided to prematurely make a documentary about a girl that has been suffering for years from AN. And I'm going to use the terms AN because I don't want to provoke. I don't want to fetish. I don't want to say the words because there are people that watch these that are suffering from AN that just talking about it makes it pro. So we're going to talk it as AN and we're going to say ED, and these are big deals. And I first learned about her, I don't even know, a couple months ago. One of my subscribers sent me a photo of her. And I was disturbed, not because I was like, God, she's so thin. It's like more like, God, she's close to death. And I'm not going to show photos of her because I also do not want to promote or fetish or make AN appear positive. It is a disease. It is a disorder. It is something that most people never fully recover from. And it is not something that 30 days at a treatment center will fix. So I want to talk really quick about what this is about. So Shane Dawson decided that he was going to interview Eugenia Cooney, who for years has been running a YouTube channel and has Twitch and Instagram and has millions of people that are following her story. She's an emo girl that's been over the years. People have seen a noticeable decline in her size. Towards the very end of everything this winter, she looked like a skeleton.
Listen, it's discriminatory to go after a woman who is sick with an illness and bully her and put it around fake fucking concern for her well-being and act like you give a shit about her when all you're doing is making video after video after video profiting off of her illness, saying you care about her, and all it does is drive more hate to her channel and make her feel worse.
Okay, I want to talk about Eugenia because
I was watching one of her videos. She's live streaming right now on Twitch. And she's been posting more selfies lately, and she's been getting a lot of hate. And like, first of all, like, I don't think anyone should be sending her hateful messages. I just really don't think that's okay. Like, I think it's one thing to be like concerned for her, but like being hateful, not okay. Like, she definitely does things where I just don't agree with it. Like, there's been some stuff that's been coming out about how she's handled her community and some issues with moderators and that kind of stuff. But she's live streaming right now, and people are just literally concerned for her, and she's equating concern for people being haters. And I'm just worried for her. I'm worried. Hold on a second. Okay. Now I won't get annoyed. Oh, should I not be on Twitch? I don't need to be on Twitch. I only set up the Twitch account so I could watch Eugenia's stream. If you're unhappy with your own body image or if you're unhappy with your own, if you're unhappy in your own eating disorder, I've noticed a lot of the people that are doing this to her have their own eating disorders. And I feel like a lot of it is projection. Like, they have an eating disorder, so they're going to go after her for having an eating disorder, and they're going to tell everyone that she has an eating disorder, and so therefore she can't be on YouTube because she has an eating disorder. A lot of people have eating disorders. A lot of people have anorexia, and that doesn't mean they're pro-Anna, and it doesn't mean that they're trying to recruit people to be anorexic with them. It would be akin to going after someone with bipolar and telling people that they're not allowed to be on YouTube because they're bipolar or because they're pro-bipolar. It would be akin to going after someone who has binge eating disorder and saying, you eat too much food and you're promoting unhealthy eating, so therefore you can't be on YouTube. It's no different than going after someone who's obese and mocking them, like Amber Lynn Reed, for having a dieting channel and saying that she doesn't lose enough weight.
So I don't think she's in a place where she should be online, to be honest. I don't think that, unfortunately, when you have, I get the sense sometimes that she wants the benefits of the fame without the negativity. And let's be honest here. Her video with Shane garnered her over 600,000 new followers. She had a dying YouTube channel before this, and now her YouTube channel is flourishing. So I think it would be unfair for people to just not question and to just trust what's being said, especially when you're putting it out there and you're inconsistent in what you say and your appearance doesn't match your recovery. And there's lots of things, like, I don't want to diminish her like journey. Like, it's amazing that she sought help and that kind of stuff. But at the same time, if you can't handle it, you shouldn't be online. If you can't handle people dissecting it, you shouldn't be here. If you think that people talking about you in an area of concern is bullying, you're not mentally well enough to be here. Because that would be like me getting angry at people that host streams about how crappy I am, which has happened. Like, I can't control what other people say about me, but it's my choice to read it or not, or watch it or not. And I just choose not to watch the negative things that people say about me because it doesn't matter to me. They don't know me. I don't know Eugenia. I just know that I'm concerned by how she's acting. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and just because you have an eating disorder doesn't give you the right to say that someone else doesn't have the right, isn't acting right in their eating disorder. And the speculation about her mom being abusive and her dad being abusive, like none of that helps. And these channels speak about her like they know that it's factually happening in her house. And they don't.
People do that shit all the time.
This stuff happens to me. It's the same kind of people that are watching this and believing it are the same kind of people that believe that I'm abusing my child. And it's not, you're not spreading awareness when you make 40 videos or whatever it is on this poor woman and her eating disorder. The better thing to do for Eugenia is just to tell her that you love her. Tell her you love her, you care about her. That's it. Don't tell her she looks sick. Don't tell her you think she's dying. Tell her you love her. She already has low-ass self-esteem to begin with. She is sick. I just can't imagine. Like, people have said, you need to talk about Eugenia on my channel. And I'm like, no. You need to talk about Amberlynn Reed. No, I don't talk about other people's weight. Camera scene. Trisha Paytas and Aaron Carter doing it. Because he's like super skinny and she's like a big, beautiful lady. I mean, she's pretty, you guys. But that's just like, that's a serious... That's a visual, man. That's a visual. And Aaron's looking really ratchet these days. Like, so ratchet. Have you seen what he looks like? Ratchet. Trisha's looking kind of ratchet these days. Yeah, oh, I'll make you picture it. You know, he's like 32 pounds. He is so skinny. He's got like meth bod. And I don't even want to venture to guess what Trisha weighs. And isn't Jake like into like super twiggy girls? Like really skinny girls? Like Playboy model type girls? Which is why the Tana thing makes no sense to me. She's beautiful with a lot of makeup and filters. Really in shape. Yeah, that's what I thought. Tana's just, to me, Tana looks like the kind of girl that's like super lazy, that doesn't really work out, just eats whatever she wants. Not that that's a bad thing, but then she wants all of the accolades for being super skinny and like appearing a certain way, but she's like too lazy to do any of those things. So instead she just uses filters and like angles to get pictures to look a certain way to sell an image. That's kind of my impression of her. Like in Minnesota, she would just be the chick that's like hanging out at, you know, Denny's eating like the biggest meal at the diner, you know? Right, exactly. See, I told you, she has to eat like Cheetos, Taco Bell, all that junk constantly. Get the sense from her that she's like the lazy influencer. I'm just trying to I'm gonna look super skinny, but I'm actually kind of thick, and I don't want people to think I'm thick. I just want people to think I'm skinny, but I'm not. Just own it, girl. Just own it. Like, just own the fat girl inside of you. We've all had one. We're all there. Photoshop. There's so much on here that's like unnatural. So people were like immediately slamming her, and she ended up having to disable comments because people were like completely like, shut up about your stupid body. We know you have a personal chef. You have a freaking trainer. You have doctors that have done all of this for you. You know, you barely eat. All you do is work out. You've probably had liposuction. We know you had a tummy tuck. Like, and people are like very onto this, you know? And then, yeah. And then another thing that these girls do, which is so weird. Like, am I the only one that finds this whole phenomenon weird? But they lipo the fat out of their stomach and then they shoot it into their butt. And these girls' butts have literally gotten to the point where they look so gross, it's like beyond me. And then it irritates me, and I'm just going to say it. And I know I'm a white girl, but I have plenty of girls. I have plenty of girlfriends that are African American. I really think that these women are trashy as hell because they want the aesthetic of a black woman. They want to date the black men. just, all they do is cultural appropriation. It's gross.
Which I don't know if you have seen her lately, but I don't believe she's using it. I'm not trying to be snarky, but the girl has definitely, she looks like she's on downers. You know what I mean? Like when I used to smoke a lot of pot back in the day, I used to be a little extra chub, let's just say, because all I did was have the munchies. And she's looking like she's had some munchies lately. And it could be from the stress, it could be from not feeling good, who knows what it is, but like this whole idea that she's losing weight on flat tummy tea, and like in one photo she'll be like having her gut pushed out, and the next photo she'll be like sucking in and be like, look, I look great. You know, it's just so staged and so crap, and you know she's not using it. And she has been interviewed by multiple outlets where she has talked about how she does some of those mukbangs because initially started them because men in Saudi Arabia and across the country were paying her thousands of dollars, and they're called feeders, and they were trying to get her fat. And so by doing that, she would be eating for them, and she subsequently put on a lot of weight, which is fine. I don't have anything, you know, my biggest thing with the mukbang stuff is it's just so unhealthy, and I don't understand why people do it. It's just like, it's gorging on food, and it's just binging. And to me, just as someone that has struggled with my weight, and I had an eating disorder when I was younger, I get very, I don't know, it's fetishy, and it's like, it's very borderline eating disorder.
Bible. Nori, could you please eat a sandwich? Your mom and dad are not feeding you enough. Please, I want you to eat. Mom and dad, feed your damn kids.
My friend.
And they need food so bad.
Hi, my name is Philip.
You guys, this was already Timothy's station. So Timothy is sharing his workstation with Philip. But look at how skinny Philip is.
And this is my school station.
This video is so sad, you guys. I can't keep watching it. These kids are so malnourished and so not taking care of each other. Oh my God, it's so gross. I can't keep watching this one. So my frustration here is that this poor woman has an eating disorder, and there's these YouTubers that make video after video after video pretending like they care about her, and they don't care about her. If you flat out fucking cared about this woman, you wouldn't profit off of her eating disorder telling other people not to watch her content and spinning narratives about her.
Please do not support her if you can. Don't watch her videos. Don't help this machine, this financial machine that's benefiting her parents, continue.
Of course, anorexia is serious, but making a video after video after video telling this woman that she has anorexia doesn't make her less anorexic. And absolutely nobody is going to get help because you scream at them and yell at them. Yes, it's about Eugenia. Nobody's going to become less anorexic because you tell them that they're anorexic. Nobody's going to get help because you scream, yell, and make monetized video after monetized video after monetized video after her. If you really cared about this fucking woman, you would literally send her an email and you would tell her her family does do things. Who are any of us to say that her family doesn't do things? Who are any of us to say that we know shit about what's happening around in her family life? None of us know her personally. No one knows what's going on in her house. People only see the flowery, fun person that she is. Absolutely no one knows the pain that her parents are going through. I can't for the life of me qualify any single person that absolutely would appreciate watching their daughter themselves with an eating disorder. What bothers me is a lot of these YouTubers that are doing this aren't fucking parents, and they don't even know. Like, just because her parents are trying to like make her happy and like help her doesn't mean they're supporting her eating disorder. Questions about her mom and her relationship with her daughter, which is very abnormal, being that Eugenia is 25 years old and still lives with her mother. And I know a lot of people will say, well, I'm 30 and I live with my mom, or I'm this and I live with my mom. This is an unhealthy dynamic between Eugenia's mother and her. If you watch any of her videos, you will notice that she has been a part of this production. A story from her own childhood of how she was always naturally thin, and you look at those photos that she shared in that video with Shane, and it's almost like her mother was starving her. And so then I cover Munchausen's a lot, or I call MVP, and I'm beginning to think that this mother is like Gypsy Rose all over again. There is something going on in this family that's not healthy, and I'm gonna find out I'm gonna figure this out, you guys. I mean, finding out that her parents purchased the house and they own it outright via cash tells me that she's funding this for her family. Like, she's feeding her family. And this family is dependent on her income and her being on YouTube and making these videos. And her parents are like, I don't even know what they do for a living. They're in their 60s, but please do not support her if you can. Don't watch her videos. Don't help this machine, this financial machine that's benefiting her parents, continue. And yet all of these people, Pastel Bell, Sloan, all of these people that make all these videos about her, it doesn't help. Like, for the record, I had made comments about her 2 years ago after Shane Dawson. And yeah, she doesn't go around telling people not to eat. She doesn't even promote her eating disorder, period. She's not like on her channel telling people to be anorexic with her. What bothers me is, like, I did a few videos about her a couple years ago when Jacqueline Glenn came out and did that shit. And I responded to it. And I honestly, the other day, I privated every video.
Remember, people, the internet is forever.
And I only had like 4 videos on her, and I haven't made a video about her on my channel in over 2 years. Because it never felt good to go after someone who's sick. I wouldn't go after my son for being sick. I wouldn't make video after video after video of my son who has an illness he cannot control. So if someone triggers you, then you just don't watch her. And it bothers me when people say, well, she's influencing children. You know what? Shut up. Every single parent has an opportunity to make a decision for their child. Nobody gets to influence a fucking kid without the consent of their parent. And if a parent is allowing it in their house, it's not your place to judge or to decide what another parent does in their home. It's not your job to protect people's children from other parents' decisions. There's a kid's YouTube. She did go to rehab, or she went to, not rehab, what do you call it? Like an eating disorder therapy. Is that rehab? I don't know what it is. She went for like 30 days. Treatment. She went to treatment for 30 days, I think, or maybe longer. And then she did outpatient. I don't know what she's doing right now, and it's none of our business. Her channel isn't about her eating disorder, and, you know, maybe it's the one time of the day where she's not thinking about her eating disorder and she just wants to go on and be happy. Like, why are you going to take the one thing away from it because she looks like she's sick? Is it rehab? It's treatment. I don't know. And because she's back, everyone is supposed to be really nice to her because she's in a fragile state. But at the same time,
Do you have to be nice to someone because and enable their bad behavior when you still believe that they're sick and that they shouldn't be online? That's my question.
So anyways, long story short, be nice to Eugenia. The people that are calling for her banning are like the people that wanted labels on curse words on record labels. They're basically Karens. It's ridiculous. I'm not even talking about trolls. I'm talking about these creators that are making these videos being Karens. It's like nobody's job to tell other people how to have their platforms. Like, you do you, I do me. If you're in a world where you think it's okay to bully a woman that has a severe eating disorder, you need to check yourself. It's not okay. I don't bully people.
You bully people. But.
Anyone.
What about? Stop bullying Josh Duggar. I'm a gatekeeper.
So I'm extremely disappointed, and as someone that has struggled with various types of OCD and ED throughout my life, sad because this isn't something that just gets better over time. And one of my best friends in college had AN, and it was heartbreaking, and she had multiple trips inpatient and never got better. And her AN actually eventually made our friendship collapse. And I'm sure today, I don't know what she's doing today, but over time she self-isolated and got even more and more away from everything else. And that's the part of this disease they didn't talk about, is how these people isolate, how they hide. And I'm proud of her for coming forward and speaking up in one breath, but I'm also really sad that she did, because I just don't think it was time. I think she needs more time. I don't know. This seems to me like they need a paycheck now, and I feel like Shane was used by her camp to get this to flip the narrative so that people would start watching her and stop talking about what her problem was. And listen, she's a beautiful girl. She's very talented with makeup. She's super cute. She's got a very bubbly personality, but she's also a people pleaser, which is very obvious and is another part of this disease. So I don't think she's changed, and I don't think she's better. And I think we need to be very cognizant of that when we watch these kinds of things. And you can't have a redemption story in 4 months. That's not how it works. So I want to know what your thoughts are. So if this was something that you felt like uncomfortable with or angry about, I want to hear it. I want to know what your thoughts were.